Look, everyone, it's your weekly, not really weekly anymore, comic book show. We talk about anything in the comic book industry. You want it, you got it. I'm not even going to do introductions because you guys know who we are, and that's the mantra. That's our theme of this year. Know the name, respect the craft, and we're just all doing awesome things right now, so I'm not going to introduce us. We're Comic Book Look.
Comic Book Look, motherfucker.
Boom.
Mom.
8-bit in your mouth.
Yeah, dude, that's a sick sound effect. But yes, guys, we're back here, and it's been a month, we know, and we all got shit going on. Yeah. But guess what, man? Shit, we made it back because there's a special event. Fucking Daredevil made their own TV show. Ben Affleck isn't involved. Thank God. You know, Jennifer Garner isn't involved. We just have a real Daredevil show. When the creator of this Daredevil show said that he wanted to go for the vibe of The Wire, that's tall order because that's one of the greatest shows of all time. But he really did with the detective way, and so we are talking about Daredevil, and it's a Netflix original series. Yep. It fucking is what, 13 episodes long, which is perfect. You know, unlucky 13 just for the Daredevil. I mean, it just kind of like fits good. Yeah. And it came out 1 week ago, or no, on Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
So not even a full week ago yet. So it came out 6 days ago. We've had 6 days to watch it. We're all at various levels. These guys have taken the key and they've finished it off. I'm at
all the way through.
That's fucking
nice.
Badass.
Nicely done.
I'm at episode. I just finished episode 11, so I have 12 and 13, and Sky's like at episode 6.
I'm at 6 or 7.
Yeah, and like I couldn't believe how many I got through. Like I sat out here and just played video games and fucking watched Daredevil non-stop. But hey guys, yes, welcome to my garage as well. This is my work area, and we were out here playing arcade games, so we decided to just shoot so we could get this thing a fucking moving. Yeah. And it's always fun to put a comic book look in a new spot. Yeah. So let's jump right in. Daredevil, somebody want to give a rundown? Spoiler alert, we are going to actually talk about the series. So, like, you know, we're going to say things about the series.
Some things will be blown.
Yep, exactly.
I like how spoiler alert triggered the 8-bit.
Yeah. Gap was wasn't said.
Exactly.
Must be.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so then let's talk about the like specific plot of it, and then let's jump into other things like cast and stuff.
Maybe we should talk about source material.
Yeah, totally. Let's talk about Daredevil.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where I wanted to start, is how it relates to comics.
Where did it come about? So, I'll be honest with you guys. I have the only 2 issues of Daredevil that matter in my hand right now, and I'm a bit of an a-hole for saying that, but that's the way that it goes. So, this.
I'll tell you what, he doesn't, okay? This doesn't have anything to do with any Frank Miller Daredevil at all, so I'm just going to jump ahead and say he does not have the ones that really matter.
I'm going to fight for my cause though here, ladies and gentlemen. So the first issue I got here is issue 238, The Mutant Massacre Continues. This is the Morlock slayage, etc. It's a classic. It's a total classic. You cannot deny that. But, honestly, what do I love in comics? What's my favorite thing ever?
Full covers, fucking continuity.
No. But you know
Iron Patriot.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. Iron Patriot. Right. Dark Reign.
So, of course, Dark Reign the List Daredevil is truly the only issue of Daredevil that you'll need to master this show, ladies and gentlemen. And it's because you'll meet the Dark Avengers, specifically Bullseye, versus Daredevil. Also, Daredevil's leading the Hand, the ninja cult, in this issue. That's a ballsy issue right there, guys. This was like Days of Our Lives. This is like nuts in your mouth. Awesome. Alright, so it's that good. I totally recommend it. And that's all the source material that you'll need to watch the show.
I mean, that's, first of all, that has... Bullseye's not in the fucking show.
Yeah.
Not yet. It has nothing... Norman has nothing to do with this at all.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is really, that would be the most terrible thing to read. I mean, first of all, if I was going to read some beforehand things, I would read the or I think it's, is it the, Steve Dillon, Jason Aaron, like a Marvel Max series, and it's all about the Kingpin, and I read the whole entire thing. I can't remember. I think it's Punisher, and I think it's Punisher, Bullseye, and Kingpin. And that's, you read that to know exactly about the Kingpin. It talks about him having a girlfriend, and play.
Yeah.
Talks about his mom comes into play in this thing. So that would be an actual series that you should read. And then for Daredevil, you read, because this is a street level TV show where everything happens on the street, and these, we don't see any other superpowers besides his super senses, is we get you have to read the Frank Millers, where the original run from like the early 80s, and that's when he became like that fucking just knight of Hell's Kitchen and like the Batman of the Marvel universe when it comes to like Gotham being Hell's Kitchen. But yeah, dude.
But in
Daredevil, such a good character.
In the series on Netflix, excellent series. I love how it does tie into the Marvel universe and go onto the TV shows on other networks, Shield, as well as the Avengers movie, because like they made references in the newspaper columns, like talking about the Battle of New York.
Oh yeah, and they're like, hey, you don't have some. I mean, there's a whole bunch of comments though that also tie it in. You don't have some hammer, you don't have some shizu.
That's a complaint.
Exactly.
That's a complaint.
Oh, you didn't like that time?
Well, because we see it in every Marvel spin-off.
Sure.
Ever. Like S.H.I.E.L.D. Oh, you don't have a suit of armor. Oh, I just heard that in Daredevil. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they recycle the same punchlines about Captain America, about Iron Man, about Thor. I'm like...
That's what they do in the comics, too.
That's not true.
But it's like, I'm not watching that shit show, so, like, that works for me. Because I'm not going to watch some ABC shitty show. Which is great this is on Netflix. They can drop a shit every once in a while. Yeah. They can show some side boob. Yeah. They can show Daredevil getting cut up by some fucking knife on the end of a chain.
Deborah Ann Worrell, side boob.
Ooh, exactly. And fucking... Let's talk about we're jumping all over the place, but let's talk about star power in this fucking movie or show. Dude, Rosario Dawson and Vincent D. I can't even pronounce his last name,
Yeah.
As
he's
Kingpin.
So I don't even know how to say his
exactly.
name.
Yeah.
He's actually you feel like he's too good. He's a really good actor. I mean, he's not that famous, but he's like a great character actor.
Yeah. SVU guy or whatever.
So it's like, how did the fucking, they get him for Daredevil? That's fine with me. I mean, I love it.
Oh, he was an excellent casting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Netflix is clearly shelling out some decent money to get some decent actors on board.
Rosario Dawson, dude, she's a fucking movie star.
Well, and this, to me, after seeing the episodes and, how well they did, makes me really looking forward to AKA Jessica Jones.
Some of the other ones.
Yeah, Luke Cage, The Defenders, all the different other shows that are going to be coming out. I only wish they'd do release dates. Cause so far, all we know is AKA Jessica Jones comes out this year, and then there's 2 more coming out in 2016, and then The Defenders in 2017.
Yeah.
So do you think it's a missed? Okay, I'm already jumping around. We haven't even talked about them. I'm gonna go.
That's
come back
how
to
awesome
that
the show is, though.
I'm gonna come back to that point. So yeah, I mean, we talked about Daredevil. That's what you need. I mean, he's a long known. I mean, he's been around forever.
Yeah. How does his origin match up to?
I mean, it's perfect. I mean, they did it. I mean, they had to bring it to something you could show on TV. But he fucking gets blinded by chemicals after his fucking father is, a fucking up boxer. I mean, it's like, it is very well transcended. It's not perfect. But
you want to hear? There's a rumor on the internet, and it's a fan theory, and it's not necessarily substantiated.
Ken's theory.
No. I don't know all the details. You can look it up. You can look it up on Google.
Thick stack of knowledge.
The accident.
Google thick stack.
The accident that blinded Matt Murdock is also the same accident that caused the mutation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Apparently, it had something to do with the writers of.
Are they tied together?
There's a whole theory about it online, and they point out these facts to point it out. So you should look it up.
Yeah.
We can look it up afterwards. But yeah, supposedly it's the same toxic spill that causes.
But it can't be. It's not Marvel U.
I don't know. I can pull up the theory. And
yeah, Ken's pulling shit out of his ass, obviously.
Okay, now I gotta find it.
No, I believe you saw it somewhere. I have a theory too. You want to hear it? Fucking
Nope.
The post-apocalyptic world in Terminator is what causes the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they're tied together. Duh. Okay, that's my theory.
That.
And it's my own.
That's going to be a whole nother show when that shit airs.
But, I mean, Daredevil...
Let's go back to kind of the style, the way it was shot,
Yeah.
how we feel about, I mean, we kind of glazed over the actors really quick, but I mean, obviously, we've got some great actors in there, and I feel like I've not been taken out of it.
And if we're gonna just be, if we're gonna, before we get to that, I want to keep on going with the actors for a second, because, and let's say who our favorite actor is in the thing, because my favorite character and actor is actually kind of, maybe not everybody else's, and I think that he just did such a fucking stellar job. Yeah, Foggy. I mean, it was unreal. I mean, I've seen him in fucking all the Mighty Ducks movies, man. So, like, when I first saw him, I was like, that's kind of weird, because I know him as the Mighty Ducks. But I love Foggy as a character. And, like, the Mark Waid run that just has happened and is happening, it is the same Foggy. He has the voice of the fucking, I want to be really strong and cool, but I'm really not, and I'm a goofball at heart, and I'm always pissed at Matt, and I'm...
Everyman.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, he's so fucking awesome, though, dude, and I just hope he fucks some chicks soon. I mean, he should have been fucking that chick he works with.
Shout out to chicks.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't know, he's awesome, and that is my favorite character and actor, and just, he does a perfect job.
Okay, let's do favorites. Who's your favorite, Skylar?
I'd have to say Foggy too. He just kind of brings it together. He makes it fun.
Yeah, he does.
I'd have to say Matt Murdock, because I'd ride that ride.
Oh, snap.
Dude, he is fucking cut,
Isn't
though.
he? Yeah.
I mean, Jenna came down and was like, Jesus, man, because he was like all beat up, just flexing all his muscles.
Yeah.
You know, mine might actually be a surprise, especially for you, because I think you would enjoy this one. The lawyer.
Ooh.
The smarmy lawyer.
Yeah.
Wilson Fisk's lawyer. He's so badass, just...
Wesley?
Yes, Wesley, he's just...
Dude, I don't disagree with that, because I was going to say my second favorite is Wesley.
Yeah.
He holds strong. It's odd how much Kingpin trusts him and shit. And
and how straight-faced he is through everything. Like, Kingpin's just bashing the guy's head in with the car door. And he's getting splashed with blood. And
he's like, I'm going to get out and go to the other side and play Tetris on my phone.
Yeah. Oh, man. Or, like, and there's times when...
He's playing Words with Friends, okay?
Trivia crack.
I'm thinking Angry Birds.
So this whole overall story it's all around these underground monsters in New York, and they all have different business in Hell City. And we have the Yakuza Japanese family. We have the Italian family has been run out. They talk about it a lot, how the Italians used to run it, and they're not there anymore. Yep. The Russians are a big player, and then Kingpin's group is a big player. So it's like
those triads.
And the triads, exactly. The Chinese as well. So those are like the four groups that are all together, and they all kind of work together for like having organized crime. The heads all talk to each other. They all work in tandem together, and it just is like how this is like Kingpin's rise to try to take over this group is what I feel like. Like he gets rid of the fucking Russians, spoiler alert, and in a fucking sick ass way, dude. And when he, like Skylar said, he's bashing the fucking head of the Russians in his head, just bashing it in the car because he fucking just the only reason is because Kingpin's falling in love with this fucking art chick. Yeah. And
he interrupted the date.
Yeah, he interrupted the date.
That was all.
You never do that to Kingpin.
But then Kingpin's they keep on doing flashbacks to everybody gets flashbacks, but Kingpin's flashbacks are the best. Yeah. You get Dom from Entourage, that actor. He's in a bunch of HBO shows as well, but he plays Kingpin's dad, and I fucking love him. He's just a complete asshole dick. Everybody, the world's out to get him, and he fucking beats the shit out of this kid and makes Kingpin do it as well.
That was probably my favorite episode, I think, of all of them.
Yeah, looking back into Kingpin's childhood.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so interesting to see how he became who he was and why he is the way he is. I mean, you still don't feel sorry for him. He's a psychopathic son of a bitch. Yeah. But
in those moments you do, and when he kills his dad, you're like, fuck yeah, Kingpin. Yeah. Wilson Fisk. Fuck yeah.
Because they don't actually, I don't think they've ever actually referred to him as Kingpin.
They haven't at all. They keep on saying he wants to be the king. They've said different things like that.
King on the card, but they never actually say Kingpin.
And then, how awesome is it that the reporter Ben, the most famous reporter in all of Marvel Universe, they have the series Marvels. He's the main character in it. He and he's a huge player in this, and he's a black dude. They switch him to a black dude, which is fucking so perfect. I mean, they needed to bring some diversity into this
It's true.
dumb cast that Marvel chooses of all white dudes. So it's like, yeah, dude, make Ben, who is actually a fucking person whose morals are always so right and always so perfect that everybody can always root for him.
Mhm.
And I think they're playing him really, really well
Oh,
in
yeah.
this. So yeah, I mean, so many different pieces of the puzzles that are coming together, which makes it a good show. I mean, what are the downsides?
Too long to see the cool suit.
I kind of like not having a suit.
I just found a downside. There's a suit.
You've never
Oh.
seen the dip.
He finally brings the suit out.
I haven't seen the suit yet.
I was
either.
glad that there wasn't a suit.
Yeah.
Me
Oh,
too.
no.
I liked having him all black with a
Street
black.
level.
Yeah.
Apparently you don't see my Facebook page because it's been my profile.
Well, I mean, I've seen, and it's the cover of the Netflix thing.
I don't
so-
see anybody's face.
Well, yeah, it is actually. It is actually the picture on Netflix is the new suit.
Yeah, so, I mean,
you know there is one,
But
that's not really a spoiler.
it's okay because he didn't wear it the whole entire season
Yeah,
so
no,
far, so that's
yeah,
fine.
you're not gonna see it till the bitter end.
But I just met the guy who's gonna make his suit, who's been making Kingpin suits, and he makes like bulletproof fucking suits,
Yeah.
and fucking almost beats the shit out of
Yeah, which is
Daredevil,
crazy.
and
It's
he's-
like, I make suits and I kick a lot of ass. And I'm like, what is going on?
But he's not all there.
Yeah,
and
he's definitely
he's
there.
a nice guy. He wasn't
Yeah.
doing it to be
Totally.
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, so I mean, I'm glad that there wasn't a suit, but like Skylar, let's bring it back to what Skylar was saying. I guess we kind of just skipped over that about like the tone and the feel
That
of the
definitely
shot.
is jumping right back into it though, because that's a part of it that I like so much. That it's literally a street level. Like
Yeah.
nothing really sets him apart except for the fact that he's got his hat down over his eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need him anyway.
Which is pretty
Yeah.
sweet.
And I mean, it's
And-
so cool that they keep it. This is in the Marvel universe. They mention all those other things, but this is as street level as it can be.
Yeah.
And I've heard there's some complaints out there. There's like, he has superpowers. How is he not beating the crap? It's like he doesn't have super strength.
No.
He has heightened senses that make up for his down of not being able to fucking see.
And he can heal faster.
And yeah, I mean, but that's just all concentrated on,
And
like, they were, it's not like superpower. I mean, that's like something that they're saying if you train long enough and you concentrate, you can heal your body faster.
Yeah, it's just
It's like,
meditation.
it's a way to explain it without being super powered,
I like the way they did it because I'm like, there's no way he can take because he takes a lot of fucking damage.
Oh, he gets his ass kicked almost
Yeah.
every
And
episode.
there's no way they can do that and be realistic about it. There has to be some way for him to be able to keep doing that over and over. And I thought the way they introduced that, it's this meditative trick that somebody taught him. Like, okay, that makes sense to me.
And
Like,
Stick was a great character.
Oh, totally.
as soon as his character was introduced, I'm like, Stick?
Stick is his trainer, like the guy from his past who taught him, and he's a fucking just complete asshole dickhead.
The only
And he's obviously working for somebody higher,
Yeah.
the only way I knew him was from that horrible piece of shit Elektra movie.
He's in Elektra?
He's not that same guy, but
But
the
the
character
character
Stick
was.
is
Oh.
the guy who
Uh,
brings Elektra back from the dead and trains her.
I never made it all the way through Elektra.
You're
Yeah.
not
See, and
missing
I kind of like that.
Barely didn't make it through the first
They
5 minutes.
took away like there's not like the superpower aspect because, and this is why I kind of like the fact that he didn't actually have the suit because you take the underwear and the cape
Yeah.
out of the equation
That's
and
my
then
kind of party.
you kind of have to take the superpowers. They're
Exactly.
he still is better than average. He's basically a superhuman still, but he's not a superhero. He's not
Exactly.
like got the magical
Yeah.
type powers of anything.
And it is totally street level. He's fighting people with no powers that are heightened fighting. I mean, when he's fighting the Triads and the Yakuza, I mean, these guys can fight like crazy. But he's fighting normal people. He's protecting a city that's all normal. Everybody around him is normal. It is definitely a cop show. It's a detective-based show where it's but all the cops are shitty and they're all bad. But it is all about crime. It's all about figuring out crime. It is definitely.
Yeah, it kind of takes a step into the real world.
Yeah, exactly.
This could be a real thing that's happening.
And it's shot dark. Like it is. The
That's-
scenes are dark. Everything is dark. Everything is played very serious. And when
I
they
love-
fucking fight, they fight hard. And when somebody gets hurt, they really get hurt. And
Yeah,
it's
the fights are like slow and heavy hitting.
Oh yeah.
And that paired with the darkness, which I really like because, he's a blind character, and so like half the time I'm just like, man, I can hardly see anything, you know. Who's that supposed to be in? Like, it's just, that's part of the experience, and the sound like plays right along with that, because a lot of everything when he goes into like fight mode, all of the sound effects are amplified. Like all the things, you could almost be completely blind and still have an idea of what's going on.
Which is awesome.
That's what I liked about it, is the fact that they didn't try and do anything campy with his super senses and be like, suddenly, you know, like, boom, oh, it's echolocation, and he can see outlines. They did that one scene to kind of show how he sees.
Yeah, they probably bring it back like 5 times, World on Fire.
And that's like it. You don't ever actually see it, and I kind of like that. He's not like, in the horrible Daredevil movie, how most people probably have their introduction.
Shout out to Ben.
Yeah. That's how most people have. But they did that in that movie, and I'm just so glad they didn't do this in this, because they played it so much more realistic, more serious.
And they did, but I felt, I'm a huge Daredevil fan, the way that it's been drawn lately, I can't remember, maybe Marcos Martin is the artist, but where they've been doing it in the Mark Waid version, I absolutely love the way that they portray the way Daredevil sees. Like in this, the World on Fire, well, I mean, he's still getting people's faces that are colorful, things are colors. He shouldn't see any of that. I would rather them, so it's like where Ken was happy that they're not showing that, I wish they would have found the happy medium, to found a way to show it like they did in the original Daredevil with Batman, but also have a way that it's like believable and fun and like appealing but still badass. And they didn't. I think it would be so hard. It's such a hard task. It probably costs a lot of money, CGI and shit like that. So they're like, yeah, let's just do this World on Fire. It gets the point across. It progresses the story, and so it was fine with me. But that was definitely something I thought was lacking.
Yeah. The one complaint I had was actually the lack of direction for the art gal. Vanessa?
Yeah. Kingpin's.
I don't trust that bitch.
Well, no, I don't trust her either, but I wanted a reason not to trust her even more. Like, was she, part of it?
She seems like a normal person, but she's okay with Kingpin's trying to save it.
And I kind of felt like there was a little bit of potential there that wasn't used, and I was very disappointed by that.
And it also makes it when she does get poisoned that, you don't really give a fuck.
Because we were like, is she part of it, maybe? That'd be cool. Like, take one for herself.
And there is Kingpin books where people think he's falling in love and he just kills the person he loves to prove to other people that he's the Kingpin. He's this doesn't really fucking matter to him. Yeah. He's still the Kingpin. Yeah. So I always thought that I'm waiting for him to actually kill her.
That's kind of where I was thinking I was going to go, but I have a feeling she's going to come back next season and she's going to play a role.
Yeah.
Just kind of the way she just had this air about her, like she was going to be the queen of the castle.
Yeah. They actually, the Netflix notified me that she won't be coming back, and they wanted me to fill in.
Oh, okay. Well,
you're going to be the queen of the castle.
Yeah.
Right? The queen pin.
Yes.
Hey.
That's just asking for a bad job.
I can't believe you turned him down. That's crazy, man.
Oh, no,
such a good offer.
I didn't.
Oh, good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I start filming in November.
Oh, shout out to Kingpin.
Alright.
Silly goose.
Yeah, man. What else? Did you think there was any downsides, Sky?
Like I said, they found out there's a costume now.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
I don't feel that's a spoiler, considering that's actually the image of Netflix.
I still think there are times that it is cheesy.
Yeah.
On the way that Arrow is still awesome and badass, but is still cheesy as fuck sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, Arrow is like 1,000 times cheesy, this is 100 cheesy. So like, I'm still sometimes like, this is superheroes. This is, like, oh really, he hasn't killed anybody. Oh really? I mean, like, the right person finds him. Yeah. Some of the fighting is like, oh really? This fight's really happening, like, exactly like this, which is so badass in this perfectly badass warehouse. I mean, so it's like, some of that stuff, but I can overlook it and I can understand. I'm watching Daredevil. So it's like, it has to have some of that stuff in it. Yeah. And that's the thing that's going to take, like, the fucking kids that are 13 and 14 be like, this is the fucking most badass thing ever. If they didn't have those things that I think are a little bit cheesy, it wouldn't work out. But since they pull in enough of taking themselves serious and like straight crime drama, and every episode is another piece of the puzzle. Long arcing storylines. You're hooking all the people our age, you know. So. Yeah.
And thank goodness for this rendition. That last movie was just awful. Yeah. So this is definitely a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, Netflix isn't fucking up. I mean, they're on fucking fire.
We should throw some beer ratings down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with 6.
6 out of 6.
I was super impressed with the acting, the writing, the storyline. Some of it was a little drawn out. Some of it, felt kind of rushed in certain spots. But overall, I thought they did an excellent job, and I think the success of it is just going to pave the way for a shit ton more of stuff like this.
Exactly. How about you, John?
I'd probably give it a 5 out of 6. There's always room for improvement, and I have yet to sword fight with Matt Murdock. So it's
not gonna be 6 out of 6 until that happens.
Yeah.
And I would also give it a 5 out of 6 actually as well.
Same reason, or?
Exact same reason. John hasn't been able to sword fight with Matt Murdock.
Now when we're saying sword fight, what are we talking?
His dick's touching tips. And that, as soon as those tips touch, I am going straight to 6 beers, but it better be on screen.
It's gonna be like a glowing ET.
Ouch. But no,
I'm gonna have to give it a 5.5 out of 6,
Oh.
and I'll give you the other half back if season 2 doesn't have those long, drawn-out songs where people are just looking at each other and reacting to things.
I also think that's
And
crazy
they're
too
looking at
because
each
they
other.
get to pick how long it is. It's on Netflix. They don't have to choose an exact time.
Which
As
is
you notice, some of them are like 50 minutes and 30 seconds. Some of them are like 49 minutes. Some of them are
54.
Yeah, exactly. So like they get to pick the time. So I was always wondering as well. I'm like, is the director really thinking we want to just sit here and look at these faces? I mean, this is dumb as fuck. But I think it is just supposed to be storytelling.
There's so many series that I just like step away from because it's just like, oh, they had an argument last season about this thing, and now they're back in that room, and there's like the songs playing, and they're just looking at each other, and it's like, oh yeah, those guys, they fixed that bike together, and it really brought them together, and they're like having a beer together.
What is this, Dawson's fucking Creek?
Basically, that's how it feels. You know what show that was? Sons of fucking Anarchy.
Really?
All hardcore. And
but that's the most soap opera movie ever. And then like they're at the bar, one guy's just like,
It's like our show.
gotta get that male camaraderie in there.
Yeah.
All right, guys, man. Hey, comic book look. Thanks again for coming out again, guys. Fucking read the comics, watch the show. Suck dicks for coke. We out.
We out. Keep it comics for sure. House Kitchen, the soup boss. Let's get it.
Oh.